In this video, my shrimp are getting a massive upgrade. They've been in this tiny jar for a long time, so I built them a much bigger tank with new plants, rocks, driftwood, and hiding spots. But before we can start, we need to go back about 5 months. One of the first videos I ever posted on this channel was me creating a low-tech shrimp jar. I started with 10 cherry shrimp, but fast forward today, that number has climbed closer to 40. I was pretty new to owning shrimp when I made that video, and I guess I didn't realize how much they would breed and change. For example, the first 10 shrimp were all bright red and rather large, but after quite a bit of breeding, we have all kinds of variations. There's big shrimp and small shrimp, bright shrimp and dull shrimp. When I wrote that, I didn't realize it sounded so much like Dr. Seuss. Anyway, all these different shrimp have one thing in common. They're a family. So today we're going to be taking all of those shrimp from this jar and putting them into a much larger tank where they can continue to grow and explore. The new tank's pretty long, so I had to remove these books in order to make room for it. Honestly, I think my book wall looked pretty cool, so I hate to see it go, but the shrimp tank will look even better. After that was taken care of, I found a duster in my house and did a little bit of dusting because this area looked really rough. After that, I found a piece of foam and cut it to shape so that the tank has something safe to rest on. Funny story about this tank, I ordered it for a different video, but I didn't like the size for fish because it was too narrow, so I figured it would be perfect for these shrimp. After I got it in place, it was time to add in the light. I'll be using the same light that I used for the shrimp jar because it provides just enough for the cherry shrimp and the plants while not being too bright where it's going to cause algae. Next up, our substrate. These guys seem to love this type of clay aqua soil from the jar, so I figured I might as well keep it the same since it works so well. I poured in the whole bag and then angled it like a small slope so that I could put the majority of the plants in the back. Once that was all done and I got it looking how I wanted, it was time to start scaping the tank. I'll be using Cereus stones and driftwood for this build. I decided I want to put 2 large stones in for the centerpieces. I tried to add more, but I didn't want to take up too much space because I still had plants and driftwood to think about. For the driftwood, I took 3 long and skinny pieces and put them in vertical so that they almost look like trees. At least that's what I was going for. After they were all in place, I was pretty happy with how it turned out, so it was time to start planting. I wanted to keep things similar to their old home, so I got the same kind of plants, just bigger. Starting out, I placed the reddish pink plants in the back because they tend to get very large, so I'll have to keep an eye on them and trim them if and when it's needed. I have these in my 20-gallon tank and they grow right out of the water. Next up, I took the Anubias and put it at the very top of the largest rock. A few drops of aquarium-safe superglue will hold it in place and then it's good to go. Finally, we'll be adding in a few more Anubias variations because they're super hardy and I think it's really neat when their roots grow down the rocks. Once again, just a few drops of superglue will hold these in place and then they're off to the races. For any beginners out there that want to try their hand keeping live plants, I would recommend trying this method and buying some Anubias. As long as you don't plant them in gravel or substrate, they should thrive and will be easy plants to take care of. The final step for today will be to fill the tank with water. Honestly, I think the hardscape looks really good as it is, but there's still a few more things I need to add, but since I'm pretty sick, I'll finish that in a few days. On day 3, it's time to start removing everything from the shrimp jar so that I can add it into the new tank. What's cool about this is all of the plants and driftwood carry beneficial bacteria and microfauna on them, which are very helpful in breaking down waste. This will help instantly cycle the new tank. When I first made this jar, all of the plants started out very small, but since then they have grown quite a bit and I'm excited to see how much they grow going forward. One by one, I spread out the plants so that they have plenty of space to grow without being crowded. After everything's planted in the substrate, I decided to take the driftwood with the Anubias on it and just put it directly on top of the rocks. This driftwood is loaded with beneficial bacteria, so I definitely want to make sure it goes into the tank. After that, I grab a piece of lava rock and a ceramic ring and add them into the tank as well, because these two are full of beneficial bacteria. In order for the beneficial bacteria to multiply, I need to give it some oxygen, so I add in a small air stone for some surface agitation. Now I'll let the tank sit a little longer and cycle while I wait for some stuff to arrive in the mail. On day 7, a few pieces of acrylic arrive in the mail, which we'll be using to create a custom lid for this tank. I start by taking a Sharpie and tracing the dimensions of the tank. I've never done this method before, but after some research it seemed easy enough. I grabbed a sharp box cutter knife and carefully made some slices in order to thin the acrylic enough where I could snap it. It took about 10 passes with the knife before I could snap it easily, but if you're younger, please use adult supervision for this. After the hard part came the satisfying part, removing the film. After that, we're left with a clear piece of acrylic that fit the tank perfectly. I left a little gap where the air hose can come out of the tank, but the lid still blocks all of the evaporation from the air stone. Now that the lid is made, our shrimp won't be able to jump out of the tank, and it's time to get them transferred over. To start, I add some of the water from the jar into a container, and then slowly but surely, I start removing the shrimp from the jar. A few days ago, I decided to buy this smaller shrimp net, and I'm super glad I did because without it, it would have been way harder to catch these guys. I was nervous at first because I know that baby shrimp can be so small and hard to see, so I was trying to be very thorough and careful while I was netting them out. Getting the bulk of them took quite a while because there were so many, but after that was done, I started to look closely for the really small ones. For comparison, this one was probably smaller than a grain of rice. And there was even a snail in the jar that almost snuck by. After grabbing a flashlight and inspecting every inch of the jar to make sure no one was left behind, I felt confident that we got everybody. You can see here that some of the shrimp are solid red while others are spotted, and if you look closely, you can see that this shrimp has eggs, so there will soon be a bunch more babies. Now it's time to get our shrimp acclimated to their new tank water. For this, I take an airline tube and tie it at one end so that the water will drip from the new tank into the container so they will slowly get used to everything. After a half hour or so, it's time to pour them in. Most people will probably get mad at me for not netting them out and putting them in that way, but the water from their old tank is full of microfauna and I wanted to introduce as much as I could into the new tank. Then I dropped the snail in and put the lid back on. At first it looked like a traffic jam. The shrimp were fired up and swimming around all over the place, but I think that they were excited to have all this new space and places to explore. As I do in most of my videos, when I add anything to a new tank, I like to turn the light off so that they can relax and settle in easier. So we will check back in about a week. On day 14, all the shrimp are doing awesome, but I think they're getting a little bit hungry, so I grab an algae wafer and drop it in. It doesn't take long for the first shrimp to discover the food. I think he might have called his pals because after a few more minutes, there's a feeding frenzy. After everyone had their fair share, they move on, and I think I gained a little respect in their community. These guys love to hang out underneath the driftwood and among the roots of the plants. This little guy is hanging out close to the pregnant mom, and I think maybe he's excited to be a big brother. Our lone snail is also on the hunt for algae and decides to see if he can find some on the glass. That'll wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting my channel. Hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications because my next video is one of my favorites yet. Comment down below what you'd like to see me build in the future and I'll see what I can do. Have a great day.